The cinder waste stretched for 1,000 parsecs, a monument to greed and ambition. Its poisoned skies, once choked with industry, now held only the bitter wind and the skeletal remains of star dredgers. Here, amidst the wreckage, lived Kalen, a man whose reputation preceded him like a toxic cloud. He was a notorious scavenger, a fixer of broken starships and broken rules, driven by coin and a deep, abiding disdain for heroes. His ship, the Iron Vulture, was as patched up and morally ambiguous as he was. Today, however, the cosmic winds carried something far worse than ash. The all-consuming maw had arrived. They weren't a fleet or a race, but a growing void, a fundamental imbalance in the fabric of space itself. They swallowed everything, stars, planets, light, life, not to destroy, but to reclaim. They sought to return all existence to its primordial, undifferentiated state, seeing the universe's expansion as an era, a chaotic scattering of essential energy. They were a cosmic rewind button, undoing creation itself, reducing all to the ultimate, universal zero. On the Iron Vulture's rusty bridge, Kalen watched the tactical display. A bright, living cluster of nebulae, the Stardust Veil, winked out, not just dimmed, but utterly gone, pulled into the maw's expanding emptiness. "There goes the Veil," rasped Xylos, Kalen's alien copilot, a spindly, six-limbed being whose species was known for its relentless optimism. Even Xylos seemed to shrink a little, his usual chatter silenced. "They say it feels, like unbeing, like you were never there at all." Kalen just snorted. "Sounds like every Monday morning, Xylos. What's our takeoff window?" "Someone's bound to leave some good salvage behind when they panic." What was this thing? How did you fight an enemy that simply erased reality? And why was Kalen, of all people, the only one who seemed to have a chance against it? The all-consuming maw was not born, it simply became. An imbalance in the fundamental forces of the nascent universe, it spent eons dormant, a flaw in the cosmic code. When it awoke, it sought to correct creation's mistake, to gather all scattered energy and matter back into a single, pre-Big Bang state. It perceived existence itself as a temporary, chaotic deviation. Its singular directive was the Great Reclamation, to draw all things back to ultimate, unified non-existence. It didn't destroy with force, it simply absorbed with perfect, fundamental pull. Countless civilizations, once vibrant and diverse, were reclaimed. The light weavers, beings of pure energy and intricate photons, found their complex forms gently unspun. Their very essence, deemed a temporary dispersal of universal energy, was drawn back into the maw, their brilliance vanishing into cosmic night. Their unique, luminous existences became their pathway to ultimate, undifferentiated energy. The stone carvers, species who built immutable monuments and grounded their societies in enduring physical structures, saw their creations simply cease to be. The more embraced their solidity, reclaiming every atom, every particle, leaving only the void. Their enduring, physical forms became their pathway to absolute, unified non-matter. Each species, in its core nature, offered the more a logical pathway to reclamation. Their very existence, their being something, made them ideal candidates for reduction to nothing. And now, its vast, silent pull was approaching the human sector. As the maw's nullifying field approached human colonies, the initial effects were unsettling. Not chaos or destruction, but a sense of profound absence. Homes felt less real, memories less defined, and the future less certain. People looked at their own hands and felt a subtle, unnerving doubt of their own existence. But then the maw encountered something it couldn't simply reclaim. Humanity's profound, often illogical, attachment to things that don't matter, the forgotten, the useless, the utterly pointless detritus of existence. Humans hoarded. They collected. They clung to broken trinkets, meaningless traditions, and sentimental rubbish long after it served any purpose. And in Kalen's case, he salvaged everything, no matter how insignificant, convinced there was always a use, or at least a story, in every piece of discarded scrap. Kalen, Xylos shrieked, pointing at a flickering projection. The Maw is trying to reclaim the junk asteroid outside Ceres, but it's having trouble, its field is fluctuating. Kalen squinted at the display. The junk asteroid was exactly what it sounded like. A massive, drifting chunk of space debris, made entirely of humanity's accumulated garbage, forgotten satellites, broken tools, and defunct probes. No resources, no strategic value, no discernible purpose. Pure, chaotic, utterly meaningless stuff. Huh, Kalen grunted. Never thought our trash could be so unreclaimable. Dr. Lyra Thorne, a brilliant but perpetually exasperated physicist on Kalen's crew, stared at the data. That's it, their weakness. The Maw wants to reclaim pure, fundamental existence. But human junk, it's so tangled, so illogical, so meaninglessly complex in its uselessness, it resists fundamental integration. It's an informational paradox. You're saying our sheer, unadulterated hoarding habit is our defense? Kalen asked, a strange, calculating glint in his eyes. Precisely, Lyra declared, her voice rising with manic excitement. They want to reduce everything to cosmic zero. We give them cosmic, infinity of utterly pointless data. We amplify the irrelevant. We become the universe's ultimate static. The plan was codenamed Operation Scrapyard God. Humanity would flood the all-consuming Maw's nullifying field, not with power, but with unquantifiable, non-reducible, and defiantly useless concentrations of information and matter. Every human settlement, every ship, would begin dumping their entire history of digital clutter, their most useless inventions, their most cherished, utterly worthless sentimental objects, and the physical waste of millennia. They'd create pseudo-singularity points of pure, unreclaimable nothingness that is still something. The goal: to generate so much unsolvable informational and physical noise that the Maw's reclamation algorithms shattered. The all-consuming Maw's central nullification point, a vast, silent vortex of primordial pull, was now directly engulfing the outer rim of the human sector, its field beginning to thin reality itself. Its presence promised ultimate, peaceful non-existence. Then humanity's counterwave hit. It wasn't a blast. It was an overwhelming flood of human-made pointlessness. Millions of individuals simultaneously creating massive data dumps of every trivial meme, every silly video, every discarded draft of an email. Ships jettisoned cargo holds filled with broken toys, useless souvenirs, and meticulously organized collections of lint. Entire colony storage facilities opened, releasing clouds of obsolete hardware and forgotten paperwork. Humans who had perfected the art of generating meaningless clutter unleashed a torrent of cosmic static. The all-consuming more convulsed. Its reclamation algorithms, made to identify and absorb fundamental existence, screamed. It tried to categorize this incoming data, to find its essential form, its ultimate zero. But there was none. It was pure, unadulterated, uniquely itself non-functional data. It was like trying to reduce a joke to its chemical composition. Error, non-fundamental existence detected, no reclaimable form, system overload, indefinably useless, avoid sector, UNABSORBABLE irrelevance. The all-consuming Maw, whose very being was perfect reclamation and absolute unification, could not compute the utterly useless. It could not assimilate what actively resisted definition or purpose. It could not nullify a species that stubbornly created things with no logical end, choosing joyful pointlessness over sterile purpose. With a final, silent shriek of algorithmic despair, the Maw recoiled. Its vast, shimmering void flickered wildly, then pulsed and shrank, collapsing into a storm of raw, uncategorized energies. It did not disappear. It simply disengaged, its perfect reclamation shattered by the sheer, unyielding irrelevance of humanity. It retreated from the human sector, classifying humanity as unreclaimable variant, extreme clutter risk. The cosmic pressure lifted. The iron vulture, though touched by the Maw's chilling calm, now hummed with the messy, beautifully pointless noise of human life. Captain Kalen slumped against the console, exhausted. Xylos, his 6 limbs trembling, looked at the receding void. We won, Xylos whispered, still in awe. Kalen just snorted. Yeah, by burying them in our junk. Poetic, I guess. He looked out at the stars, still there, still scattered, still chaotic. He hadn't wanted to be a hero. He hadn't planned on saving anyone. All he wanted was a good score, maybe a quiet corner of the galaxy. But now, with the Maw receding, he felt a strange, hollow ache where his usual indifference resided. Saving the universe meant keeping all the things he usually avoided. The pointless clutter, the messy emotions, the human attachment to things that should just be discarded. So what now, Captain? Lyra asked, her voice soft. Kalen sighed. Now we find the biggest pile of useless scrap in this sector, put a claim on it, and figure out how to sell it for triple what it's worth. Someone's got to profit from all this unreclaimable nonsense. He had saved them, not for glory, but out of a twisted, selfish instinct to keep his own chaotic life intact. And the cost? He'd have to live in a universe full of other people's pointless junk, just like his own ship. And maybe, just maybe, deep down, a tiny part of him wouldn't mind it so much.